Motivational quotes. I Googled it right before lunch, almost 800 million. I'm not gonna cite them all right now, but they're there if you need some motivation. But how far back do we go? Why do we need them? Sometimes we just need a little inspiration, right? There's the first one that I remember when I was back in high school. And people were getting drafted, getting sent to Vietnam, and so the hippie thing was going on. So people needed some motivation to kind of keep it going. Now, we kind of need to dial some of those people now. So we demotivate them. And there's about 200 million of those in case you want some demotivation. But what about me? What inspires me, right? Graduated from high school, bottom 10 of my class, not 10%. My buddies were below me, so I was in good company. When I needed some inspiration, started taking bonehead classes because I wanted to go back to school. They call it developmental ed now, I call it bonehead. I was sitting there with other adults who needed some inspiration as well. I didn't like algebra. I didn't like math. I decided to join the Air Force because I was going to work on one of these slick looking things, right? Air Force had different ideas for me. They decided, no, you can't fix jets. We're going to have you fix some of these. And so, here it is. America's best kept secret right here. If the Russians would have known I was taking care of this baby, they would have attacked us. And so what I liked about the Air Force was the structure. I moved up the ranks, more rank, more responsibility, greater challenges. It got good for me. Okay, gave me a different perspective on life that I didn't have before. I went up the grades. It gave me a chance to be successful at something I had not enjoyed when I was growing up as the best kid in my family, right? No, that wasn't me. But that's what kept me going. That's what motivated me. And I learned a lot when I was in the Air Force. Had a career, developed some vision, got my education taken care of, established some goals, got some real core values, something that was important to me and my family, and developed some skills along the way. Well, I had to retire, came here. The whole structure is different. There's not that progression equals more responsibility equals greater things in your life. And so I needed to kind of get something going again. So I started thinking, hey, what am I going to do to get this fire going again? Reignite it, right? So started sitting around thinking about things to do personally, and then I got together with my two boys. We started having some discussions about things we could do together. These started flowing. The ideas got better. And so decided, hey, let's ride the El Tour de Tucson, 106-mile race around Tucson. You do it on one of these, and so we started training for a little bit at a time. And so the idea was, hey, I want to do this El Tour de Tucson, but I want to do it in platinum time, which is 5 hours or less for a 106-mile ride. And so I jumped in with this crowd and started riding around Tucson. Well, I didn't know about El Tour de Tucson, didn't know much about cycling. I didn't know anything about nutrition, about conditioning, about any of those things. And so I was learning from my failure. It took me almost 9 hours to finish my first El Tour de Tucson, and there was a lot of walking with my bike. I was too weak to be able to climb that last hill. And so I was learning from it. Along the way, I decided I need to get better at this. And so I went to places like Angel Fire, where you do back-to-back 100-mile days. You start at elevation, almost 7,000 feet, 8,000 feet, climb to 11,000 feet, and started getting stronger. Some of these things started happening where I had my few crashes, broke a few bones, I'm good. Range, not so good. But these were things that I was learning along the way. I was taking the equivalent of the hospital Uber and I learned. And on my 8th try, after 7 failures, I finally achieved that platinum status in El Tour de Tucson. And so, what motivates me? Sometimes it's success, sometimes it's failure.